Hi, my name is Anna Thomas, Senior Policy Analyst with Voices for Utah Children, and this is a quick recap of our top early education priority for the 2022 legislative session, the expansion of full-day kindergarten across the state through a thoughtful 3-year funding plan. Our ultimate goal was to ensure that within 3 years, any family in Utah that's interested in sending their child to a full-day K program would be able to do so in their own community. Currently, only 30% of Utah kids have access to a full-day K program, despite full-day K's overwhelming popularity with parents and its documented benefits in existing programs throughout the state of Utah. That 30% is really different than everywhere else in the country. The national average for full-day kindergarten attendance is 82%. So we did make some progress in this effort this year, but unfortunately for Utah families and for the schools that would like to provide them full-day kindergarten, we did fall short of that main goal. Working with school districts, charter schools, community partners, and parents from across the state, our Utah Full-Day Kindergarten Now Coalition successfully supported HB 193, Full-Day Kindergarten, sponsored by Representative Steve Waldrop, through most of the legislative process. $22.8 million in funding for the first year of expansion was prioritized by the Public Education Appropriations Subcommittee in the early weeks of the session. The House of Representatives then overwhelmingly supported the bill with 52 votes in favor, more than 2/3 of all the legislators in the House. And with this head of steam, we fully expected the bill, as originally intended, to successfully pass through the Senate as well. Sadly, just a week before the end of the session, HB 193 was pretty much rewritten, presumably by legislative leadership serving on the Executive Appropriations Committee, and the original funding recommendation largely ignored. Thus, we ended the legislative session with a much scaled back bill that will provide an additional $12.2 million to districts and charter schools to support full-day kindergarten expansion. Schools and charters will still have access to approximately $24.5 million through the optional enhanced kindergarten program. This leaves us still about $35 million short of the goal of fully funding full-day kindergarten and ensuring that all families have a real choice when it comes to the type of kindergarten that their child can attend. That $35 million amount is slightly less than legislative leaders were prepared to use to fund the controversial Hope Scholarship program, which ultimately failed to pass the House. All this means is that some additional families will have access to full-day kindergarten next school year who did not in the past. As for who, it will really depend on where those families live in the state and which schools they have access to, as well as how willing and able their school district leaders are to moving ahead with full-day kindergarten expansion at this time. So our many amazing partners in the Utah Full-Day Kindergarten Now Coalition fully intend to continue pursuing full state funding for kindergarten programming statewide that meets the needs of all Utah families. So expect to hear a lot more from us on this issue in the year ahead. If you'd like to get involved in this campaign to bring more full-day kindergarten opportunities to Utah families in the next couple of years, please get in touch. Visit www.utahfulldayk.today and sign your organization or business on as a coalition partner, and sign yourself up to get action alerts and updates about full-day kindergarten expansion. Thanks so much.